What's up guys, it's me Jeremy, and welcome to Heroes of the Storm. This multiplayer online battle arena, or MOBA game based on the Blizzard universe, brings together a bunch of iconic characters who come together to battle it out with the goal of destroying each other's base. Heroes consists of a 5 vs 5 player vs player map where each individual plays a character from one of the many Blizzard universes. Both sides push down lanes and claim objectives in order to accumulate an advantage to take down the final goal of killing the enemy's base. Created by Blizzard Entertainment, this game was intended to rival League of Legends and Dota 2, with the goal of being more casual focused and easier to get into. And with that comes a flurry of interesting new mechanics at the cost of a much more simplified game. If this is the first MOBA game you have played, you will have to get used to the genre as a whole. MOBAs tend to be quite fast paced, and so you will have to get used to moving your character around and using abilities. Overall though, it's a super fun genre that I'm sure you'll enjoy, but the learning curve will be a bit higher for you than for someone else. If this is not the first MOBA game you have played, learning Heroes will be quite easy for you, and the transition you make won't take too long since the game is a lot simpler than what you have likely experienced, and I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of things as we go along. Now, unlike a traditional MOBA game, Heroes of the Storm has done away with acquiring gold and buying items, as well as the mechanic of last hitting minions, while introducing a team-wide experience rate. In Heroes of the Storm, your team levels together, and things that give you an advantage, such as killing your opponent, will give experience to your entire team, rather than just to you as an individual. This design choice brings some interesting things to the game, mainly that it simplifies the game a lot, and removes quite a bit of things that would tend to be fairly complicated for beginners, especially compared to other MOBAs. The first thing we can take a look at is the user interface, both in-game and outside the game. Outside the game, we're left with a fairly standard menu selection screen with three major options. The first one being to play, where you can play some tutorials, play versus bots, or test your skills in a quick match against players. I highly recommend playing the tutorials and a game or two versus bots before heading into a quick match, just to get a basic feel for the game. Next up is the shop, where you can purchase champions and skins for them, as well as some other vanity items. And then lastly we have the watch menu, where you can watch your replays. Be sure to turn on the option to save all replays automatically in the watch menu if you so desire. In-game, the UI is quite simple and can be divided into three parts. At the bottom left, we have the character screen. Here you can see your character as well as how much health and mana you might have. In the middle, we have the ability screen where you can see your abilities and the cooldowns on them. And in the bottom right, we have the minimap that shows you the battleground as well as the location of any visible characters on it. Be sure to watch the minimap a lot, as paying attention to the map and what's going on is extremely important. And lastly up top, we have the team-wide experience bars. Next up, we can break down the basics of characters. Some characters will be free to play and others will not be free and can be purchased through money or the in-game currency, gold. The characters that are free change every week, so if you find yourself really enjoying someone, definitely make sure to save up some gold or shell out the cash to buy them. In the game, each character has a set of 4 unique abilities. You start with 3 and you get your 4th ability unlocked once you hit level 10. In addition, each character has its own unique set of talents. Talents is where the Heroes of the Storm gains its depth and complexity, and can be very overwhelming for a beginner, so I won't go too much into them, but the key thing to remember is that you get a talent point pretty much every 3 levels. Press Ctrl to access the talent menu when you hit the right level, and remember to put in your talent points, as they are extremely strong and will give you a large power boost. And lastly, we can take a look at understanding maps and objectives. Heroes of the Storm has 7 total battlegrounds. In some maps, your team will have to collect a resource and then turn it in order to acquire some kind of positive boost. In others, you will have to capture and control an area on the map with your team in order to also gain a positive boost. In all 7 maps, the boosts that you get from these objectives are extremely powerful, and so you'll be fighting for them a lot in your games. In fact, most games will be decided by which team gets more objectives, so be sure to fight for them with your team. And don't worry too much about the specifics of the objectives on each map, since you can learn what to do on each map during the loading screen. And as a rule of thumb, remember to watch the bottom right corner of your UI, since it will show you when the objectives on the map spawn for your team to group up and acquire. And as a beginner, there's a couple of major things to understand. The first and most important thing is that Heroes of the Storm is a very objective-focused game. Kills are really not worth that much at all, and although they're still nice to get, the main thing is that killing someone helps you get objectives. So be sure to play around the strategy of each map and get used to what you're supposed to do on all 7 maps. In addition, you will need to learn each character and what they do in order to avoid dying a lot. I recommend researching on the Heroes of the Storm wiki and reading about the characters in order to understand what each character is capable of. Overall, objectives and team play become much more important than solo kills and outplays on an individual level in Heroes of the Storm, since the experience is shared across your entire team. You gain a lead as a team and you fall behind as a team, and to some people this may appeal quite a bit. If you're more of a strategical player who isn't great at making solo plays and having good mechanics, Heroes of the Storm might be a great option for you, while at the same time, the game is a lot less complex, and so that may be unappealing to you depending on what kind of experience you want from the game. Either way, it's a pretty interesting take on the MOBA genre, and I've had quite a bit of fun with it so far. My name is Jeremy, and that just about covers all of the major things you will need to learn to play Heroes of the Storm. Hey guys, it's me, Jeremy. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, definitely make sure to hit that like button so I can tell, as well as you can check me out on Facebook and Twitter at Gaming Curios. And check me out on Twitch too, I do weekly streams. And if you really enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, as well as you can check out some of my other content up above. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.